What's going on, guys? Aaron from Top Tier Gaming here, and I'm going to be going over the updated Forbidden and Limited list. Yes, it's a day late as I am recording this and when it will be uploaded. However, when it came out yesterday, I was actually at work, so no way I could do like a live reaction. I know a lot of people want to see that, but I do have a lot of things I want to talk about this Forbidden and Limited list, and of course, a day late, nothing I could do. Kind of stinks, but this list was a doozy in a way. It feels like, you know, before I give any thoughts, I guess we'll go over the list again. You guys all know what it is, but just so I can go and talk through things. But yeah, before we get into this video, I do want to let you guys know, Discord link down below, along with all of our other social media links. Also, I'm trying to hit 20,000 subscribers, so if you do enjoy this type of Yu-Gi-Oh content, feel free to like and subscribe. It really helps me out in what I do here on the channel, you know, all that good old stuff. But now let's get into the bulk of this video. So the ban list, a very exciting time for Yu-Gi-Oh players. Literally, like, some of us wait for the ban list, you know, depending on your time zone. Whenever ban list time is, you wait for the list to see if it comes out or if it doesn't. It's a big thing for Yu-Gi-Oh players, and you expect a lot of it when it comes. You expect a lot from it when it comes out, and when it doesn't deliver, you get some mixed opinions. But I'm gonna go through and sort of talk about my opinions here. So just going through really quickly, we have Snow banned, Ronin Totem banned, Halki Fibrax banned, Chaos Ruler banned, goodbye Papega Ruler. Red Reboot got banned, and that's it for the banned cards. Then we have Steam the Cloak was limited, Cyberjar was limited, Mecha Phantom Beast O-Lion limited, Substitute limited, that's crazy to see back. And then we have Spellbook of Judgment limited, we kind of knew this would happen. Appointer of the Red Lotus limited, and then nothing happened for the semi-limits. And then we have, you know, these cards came back. Ben 10 is notable, Dynamite Knight, Shooting Riser, Fusion Destiny, Nadir Servant, Light Stage, and Wall of Revealing Light. So I sort of want to talk about my opinions on this list. I know there's a lot of mostly disappointment going around about this list, but I do want to talk about it and sort of my opinions on the list and how it will affect the format going forward, which is what like a lot of people want to hear, our sort of thoughts and where our format is going to go and what direction it's going to take. Before I get into my thoughts about the ban list, I do want to quickly go over our prediction from about a month ago at this point and see what we got right and what we got wrong. Alright, looking at what we have here, this ban list was actually uploaded a month and 4 days ago. A month and 4 days ago, we actually thought like the ban list would come out, and you know, a month and 4 days later, here we are. So, looking at the band, did not get Mystic Mind correctly, very unfortunate. Halki Fibrax banned, we did get that. Fairy Tale Snow, we did get banned. Scythe, we got wrong. Wind Up Hunter was a shot in the dark. I really wanted it to happen, but, you know, Konami will not release the boat. Super Poly's a big one. A lot of people really didn't like that I put Super Poly on this list. They love Super Poly, however, even though ultimately they were right and I was wrong, I would still put Super Poly on this list again. I think this card should be banned. It is very unfair. Link Cross stayed banned. Glow Up Bulb, this was representing all tuners that could come back if Hulk got banned, and while Glow Up Bulb specifically didn't come back, you know, Steam the Cloak came back, and O-Line, things like that. They didn't touch this because they touched Papega Ruler and Hulk, and I said that in the video that this didn't need to get hit if they touched those. They didn't hit the Brave Engine, they didn't hit any Floodgates, they didn't hit Fluandree's map. And I really wanted to go over my prediction list here because a lot of people's discomfort I guess isn't the right word, disappointment with this ban list is simply the fact that it feels like half of it is missing. Like, we all wanted a lot more hits to cards that we find are problems. Like, Anti-Spell is a big one. A lot of people thought the Brave Engine needed to be hit. I mean, we're in a point in the format right now where it doesn't, but it's still interesting. Like, Birds didn't get hit, D-Shifter is still around. These were things that could come back. We, of course, got the Spellbook of Judgment that many people figured would come back. Rulers are still banned, Dryden's still banned, Harp's still banned. We got the semi-limited 100% correct, that's nice. Shooting Riser we got correct, big whoop. Fusion Destiny we got right. Dynamite Knight we got right. Wall we got right. Light Stage we got correct. Metaverse is still at 1 because mine isn't banned, and this was only if mine got banned if that was going to happen. Desires and Tenki still at 2 is kind of weird to me. It feels like they were almost forgotten. There's no real reason for those cards to stay at 2. But yeah, this sort of covers the list, and sort of the biggest point where I'm going to be talking about the ban list. This is really important when I preface all my thoughts around the ban list, is because a lot of these cards we really wanted hit. Mystic Mind, namely. Scythe isn't really popular right now, but he will be a problem in the future, and he's not banned. for the time being. So same thing with Super Poly, floodgates like this. Yeah, a lot of things we wanted to come back that did not. So let's go over the ban list now. Alright, back to talking about the list we have here, and honestly, I think all of the hits that they did were something we wanted. We really, in my opinion, and the people I know, I'm not going to speak for everybody, but the things they hit, we wanted to get hit. Most of us wanted Snow gone because she is very degenerate. Ronin Totem, we wanted to hit to Sprite potentially, even though it was a little early. Ronin Totem does solve a lot of the Sprite problems. Like, Sprite has to really work around this, or really work for Totally Awesome, and some of its follow-up now with Ronin Totem gone, so that does hurt Sprite. Hulk, we've been crying for Hulk to be banned for years at this point. Chaos Ruler, a lot of us cried out for, right? Red Reboot down here is something, where is it? Yeah, right here, something I really wanted. There are some formats where Red Reboot I think is a necessary evil. If you go back to like the Sword Soul Despia format around May, where those were two dominant decks, it was like the entire meta got shut off by D-Barrier, and it's like, in formats like those where one non-interactable like Floodgate card can win you the game, a card like Red Reboot feels like a necessary evil. But besides like Featherstorm and Eradicator, like, this card is really important against cards like those, which some people are going to be really sad to see this card leave, but this card is so much more toxic than things like Feather Duster or Lightning Storm against back row decks. It is so unfair. It turns off an entire mechanic. Like, if you're playing a trap deck, this card shuts off your entire deck with almost no response except for like Solemn Judgment. It's not like Feather Duster or Reboot where you can chain things. This card just shuts you down. So I feel like this card was too good. Like, I feel like they should recreate a card in similar fashion to this, but not as oppressive, and that would be fine. But I was glad to see Red Reboot go. No one was like asking for it, I guess, but I think Red Reboot is a fine hit. I think this card was just too powerful. You go to here, Cyberjar is interesting because I think we get Prediction Princess stuff next list, where this has some relevancy there, but I don't think this is going to do anything. But it's really cool to see a classic card like Cyberjar come back. I think a lot of people are happy about that. Substitute, again, with Ronin Totem banned, this doesn't do anything. In theory, someone will create something where it does something right, but overall, the things they hit, like we have Judgment is fine. Red Lotus is kind of weird, but this card was a very, very good go first card, but I feel like if they put a pointer at 1, they probably should have brought Trap Dust Shoot to 1 by now. I mean, Dust Shoot literally just isn't as good as a pointer in my opinion. So yeah, again, a lot of these things, and the overall consensus of what I'm saying is that these were good hits. We wanted these hits. The big problem with this list, if you want to find a sort of complaining point, is there weren't enough hits. There are so many things we wanted gone that aren't. For me, a card like Super Poly is huge. I do not like that card. I think it should be banned. It is too good of a board breaker. If it worked like Dark Ruler, where you could respond with trap cards or something like that, I think it'd be more fair, but that's not how the card works. You cannot respond with anything. It is disgusting. Things like Mystic Mine is number 1, like, on everyone's list. Besides the percentage of the Yu-Gi-Oh players who think Mystic Mine is fine, most of us wanted that card gone for good, never to see the light of day again. It's not on this list, so, you know, we get upset. We wait a long time for these ban lists, and we really want problems in the format to be solved. And when the ban list we wait, you know, 100 and something days for, and it doesn't solve most of the problems, even though they hit things we wanted, it doesn't solve, like, a lot of people's problems in the game. Like, another card I really wanted to see on this list was Curious. I think Curious is not a fair card in its design. That card has never ever done anything fair, I'm pretty sure. So yeah, I really wanted a Curious ban, potentially alongside Snow. And some people are really annoyed that the only thing they hit for tier is Snow, which is like just an extra piece for Curious to send, but they hit Ronin Totem and Sprite, and obviously a big reason for this, in my opinion, would be the fact that they still have many tier elements things to sell, like Mavens, the set with the Ishizu cards. Lulu Kalos and things like that come out in Darkwing Blast, so in their mind they're probably thinking hitting tier might affect those sales. In my opinion, they wouldn't. I mean, people are still going to play tier, even if you hit Field Spell to 1, or I don't even know. I don't think Sprite or tier should have been hit directly, in my opinion. In my opinion, Sprite and tier, it's too early for the engines to be attacked directly. What should have happened was a Curious ban, potentially Nessie going back to 1. The Snow ban was great, but like namely those cards, Curious, Nessie, and Snow are like the biggest ways to hit around instant fusion. Those are like the 4 ways you could have hit around tier to where pure tier would still be fantastic, but this very degenerate FTK combo version would not be. And like, I don't know how that would affect Lunalight tier, but yeah, it's pretty upsetting. Namely for me, and I know a lot of my friends, if Mystic Mine just got hit, we could have dealt with like Curious not getting hit or things like that. It would have been still a fine list, but I think a lot of people find disappointment in the fact that Mystic Mine is legal, Curious is legal. Again, I'm not speaking for everybody, just the people I know and my own opinion. Yeah, it's like huge that it feels like we're missing 50% of the ban list. Now, I don't want to be doom and gloom because in my opinion, the ban list being released on Monday, of course this is going up Tuesday, but I feel like Yu-Gi-Oh! On Monday is better than Yu-Gi-Oh! Was on Sunday. I mean, like, yeah, Tier Element is just the best deck now in theory, but at least I won't have to deal with Snow, and if I want to play a trap deck, I don't have to deal with Red Reboot. Like, so many things that got removed from the game, I'm glad they're gone, but it just didn't solve all of the problems, and I think that is tough. I don't think it really brought any new problems to the game, which is nice. Like Judgment, I don't think is going to be a problem. If it is, you know, refer back to this video and laugh at me. But yeah, overall, I think this list did things we needed it to, but it didn't do everything we needed it to. In fact, I wouldn't even say it did half of the things we wanted it to. So that's where my opinions on the list actually are. I think everything they hit, I'm glad about it. Like, sure, I won't get to play Hulk and like Mermail anymore if I want to play Mermail. I won't get to play Pepega Ruler and anything. Like, I won't get to play some cards that maybe I wanted to play. Like, I get to play Substitute now. Obviously, like, I can't play 3-a-Pointer anymore, and it was my favorite, one of my favorite side deck cards. But yeah, I mean, like, overall, a lot of these hits needed to happen, but we are missing 50% of the list. How the format is going to progress, I think you've heard it everywhere by now. I will just add my opinion to what people are saying. Tier elements look insanely powerful. I mean, at this point, we might be approaching Tier 0 status, going into Darkwing Blast, where they get great support in Lulu Kalos and I believe a spell card. And then a month after that, we are getting the Maven set with Ishizu, in which we will more than definitely be approaching Tier 0 status if we aren't there already. And yeah, that's sort of bleak for the future of what we're playing because, you know, some people like to play mirror matches and things like that, and I think there are Tier 0 formats where the mirror match is skillful and fun. If you refer back to something like Dragon Rulers, a lot of people really enjoyed that mirror match. In my opinion, and what I've heard from players, people don't like tier mirrors. I mean, it is what it is. It's like an FTK deck, and it sets up boards, especially with the way this ban list turned out, that are near unbreakable bar a couple of cards in the game. So, yeah, I mean, tier looks dominant. And because tier are dominant and D-Shifter did not get hit, I feel like Exo Sister will be incredibly powerful. I feel like Fluanderee's got a huge buff. And I'm going to be doing like a winners and losers type videos for the ban list, but overall, that's my thoughts on this list. I hope you guys enjoyed. If you did, leave your thoughts down below. I'm really curious what you guys think about the list. I've seen a lot of different opinions. My friends have opinions. You know, you hear opinions from, you know, all your local sources, but I want to know what you guys think. Obviously, you guys might be hearing something different than what I'm hearing, but yeah, leave your thoughts down below. I'll be sure to read them. Hope you guys enjoyed. If you did, leave a like and subscribe. This has been Aaron from Top Tier Gaming. Bye, YouTube.